Lesson 3, creating an HTML document. In this tutorial, I will cover how to create an HTML document. We will be using PSPad as our text editor, but you can use whatever text editor that you like. So let's go ahead and open it up. And once it comes up, you'll notice that we have all our menu bars up here, and we'll be going into File and View and Format on occasion. And then down here you have your new project and your folder listing. What I like to do is I like to point it right off the bat to my storage device by choosing this yellow folder. Now I'm going to be using a flash drive, so removable disk. Here's my web projects folder, and in here I have the folder Paradise that we have set up in a previous lesson. When I click into Paradise, I can see I already have a location for my images, and down in here I can see that the Paradise folder is now empty. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up a new HTML document. To do that, you go up to File and you go ahead and you select New File. You can also use Control-N on your keyboard. Once that dialog box comes up, scroll down until you see HTML and you can double click to open it. This will create your HTML document with some default tags already in place. Note that on line 1, that statement is remmed out. The explanation tells you that it is not as it is remmed out. This line is known as the document type definition. It can also be known as the doc type declaration. This tag is the first line of source code that tells the browser what type of HTML the page is written in so that the browser can interpret the code correctly. The next tag that you will see is the tag set HTML. Note that every HTML document begins with the HTML tags and it also ends with the HTML tag. These tags are W3C compliant because they are all written in lowercase. So I highly recommend that when you're typing up your HTML documents, that inside your tag you strictly use lowercase letters. This will make you compliant with HTML5 and above. Underneath that HTML tag on line 2, you'll notice that we have the head section. This tag is one of the major 2 tags main structure settings of a web page. And as you can see, it has a head open and head close. The information that's in between are also, these tags are known as being nested. The head tag section contains identifying and descriptive information about your web page. It can also contain meta tags, which we see here, and the title section. Next, after those 2 meta tags, we see the title tags. We have an open and a close again. Any information that's typed in between these 2 tags will show up on the browser's page on the tab, and will also show up on the title bar of the browser. Good. Below that, we can see the body section. The body section is the second major structural section of an HTML document. Any information that's typed between these 2 tags will appear in the browser of your browser, your window of your browser. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of these two meta tags that the system automatically put in. The first tag we're going to put in here is the meta keywords that search engines use to find your site. So we'll go meta name equals open quote keywords plural. I'll move out of that quote, double quote there, put a space in, content equals, and we're going to come back and add the content later, so I like to put ... as a placeholder to remind me to go back later. The next meta tag I'm going to put in here, meta name equals, is description. Description is used by the results of your search. So once someone uses keywords to find your site, this paragraph that comes up is the description. And that's going to be whatever you put in here. Again, content equals ... The The third meta tag that I require my students to put in is author. And this is so my students can get credit where credit is due. If these three tags are not in their site, then they will not get credit for work they submit. And here, I suggest that you put in your full name. Good. Once you've done that, you're ready to go ahead and add your title. In between the title tag, we're going to include the name of our organization that we're building this website for. So I'll just click down here. And I'm going to go ahead and type in Paradise Mountain Family Resort. And again, this shows up in the browser's title bar and in the tabs that are open. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace my ... with some keywords that were given to me by the client. It's a resort, so we're going to put in resort vacations, estate park lodging, family vacation, spa, and day spa. Did you notice how everything started to shift over to the left? So I want to turn on word wrap because I don't want to have to scroll back and forth to see code and such not. So I'll bring it all the way back over to the left. I'll take my mouse and I'll click into the toolbar where the numbers are. And once I've done that, I'm going to go into view and I'm going to turn on word wrap. You'll notice that it will break your words and it will also break the line, but will not create another line number. So this is saying this line would go on forever to the right, but because she put on word wrap, it drops down. And there we go. After that, we're going to go ahead and type in the description that's going to show up in our search results. So here I'm going to type in located just outside of the Rocky Mountains. And my students always ask me, does spelling count? Oh, yes, it does. I wouldn't want to pay for something that someone did not bother to spell check. And I take pride in my work, so I want to make sure that everything is spelled correctly. It is the perfect getaway place for the whole family. Good. Now we're pretty much set with everything in our head section. Let's click down to the body section now. And we're going to add some text. So there are different types of settings that you can use. They're called headings. And there are 6 headings and they control the size of text. We're going to start out with H1, which is the largest heading that's available to us. And we're going to type in Paradise Mountain Family Resort. Since I opened this tag and it's part of a tag set, I have to close it. So I'm going to use Shift and I'm going to go for the greater than sign, backslash, H1. And if you notice, PSPad automatically closes it for me. And now I've added that text. So let's go ahead and save this, and since it is our home page, we're going to call it index.html. So Control S to bring up save, and once in here, I'm going to call it index.html. Notice I'm in the Paradise folder, and then I'm going to hit save. I can now view my text. There's a couple of different ways I can do it. If I go right in PSPad, I can come up to where this little earth is, and when I click on it, it's going to show up. And here's exactly what's in the body section, so that's all that's going to show. Now, if I want to bring it up in a browser, I can go ahead and open up Internet Explorer, and then I can go File, Open, and I'm going to browse to my storage device. I'm already there, Web Projects Paradise. Here's Index. I'll double click it, and then I'll hit OK. Notice that my tab up here in Internet Explorer has Paradise Mountain Family Resorts, and that again is pulling from the title tags that are nested in the head section. Now in the body section, we can see Paradise Mountain Family Resort. Let's go ahead and minimize this. Just so you can get a feel of what the H1, H2, and H3 tags are, I'm going to go back and I'm going to highlight all of line 10 and copy it, Control C. I'll hit enter and I'll paste it in, enter, paste it in, and I'll do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can show you all 6 headers. So I'm just going to change H1 with H2. I changed it here, so I have to go over to the close tag and change it here, H2. I can change it again on the 3rd line to H3. Open H3, close H3. Again, open H4, close H4. Open H5, close H5. Open H6 and close H6. Once I've made those changes, I'm going to go ahead and do a fast save by holding down the Control key and selecting S. And then I'm going to go and bring up Internet Explorer again. You're going to notice it doesn't look any different until I refresh my page. And you can see the various sizes. And if I pull my page over here, you can see how everything by default lines up to the left. Even though it's cascading inwards, the spaces does not matter in HTML. So it's going to remove any extra space and line everything up automatically to the left. All right, let's go ahead and minimize this window. And then let's remove lines 11 through 15 and save. So delete and save. And let's finish this page up. The next line we're going to do is we're going to go down, we're going to hit enter once, we're going to go down to line 12, and we're going to go ahead and type in the P tag or the paragraph tag. The P tag defines paragraphs, and in here we're going to just type in paragraph 1, brochure, content, goes here. It's really just this placeholder, so I know where I have to come back and add more text later. I open my P tag, I close my P tag. And I'm going to hit enter and drop it down. Might as well go down 2 spaces because it will take out all that extra white space anyways. I'm going to open up another paragraph tag and I'm going to type in paragraph 2. And in here I'm just going to say more information goes here. I open that tag, I need to close it. So let's do it the right way. \P, and there we go. The next tag we're going to add, and we're going to actually add 3 tags. These are required by all my students. So if you submit any web pages for credit, you need to make sure that the last 3 lines in every web page include these next lines that we're going to type. Let's go ahead and open up a paragraph tag. And we're going to type in design by, colon, and then the student is going to type in their full name. I'm just going to type my full name. And then instead of putting the P tag here, I only want to go down 1 line space, not a double space like a paragraph, but a single space. So here we're going to use the line break. That's BR space / to be compliant with HTML5. I know we're typing in HTML 4.01, but we want to be as up to date as possible. Once I put in that BR close tag, which is a single tag, I'm going to drop down another line. And then I'm going to type in my course, CT 121 colon Web Design 1. Of course, if you're not in my Web Design 1 class, you can type in whatever you want here. And we're going to close that as well with a line break, space, / tag closed. After that, we're going to type in the name of the school. Now, if you're not at the school, you can type in your own school name or you can leave it blank. So here we're going to type in Benjamin, and we're going to spell it out. Franklin Institute of Technology. Making sure that All letters, the first letter in each word is capitalized because it is a proper name. And because that's the end of this paragraph now, I'm going to open up my tag, put in a backslash, and close out my paragraph. Notice how they turn aqua to match to let you know that here's my open, here's my close. Again, the line break is a single tag, or also known as an open tag, so we actually close the tag within itself with the backslash. Good, let's go ahead and save this. And then again, let's bring up Internet Explorer and hit refresh. And as you can see, we have that information all listed now. Good. Go back and minimize Internet Explorer. Now that we have our information set up so that we can add our content, we're going to be replacing that information right here with our brochure information. So I'm going to go to my storage device, which is right here, and here's all my HTML data files. And I'm going to open up this HTM_A-1, which has my brochure information in it. And I don't want to open it up in Word, so I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I'm going to say open with, and I'm going to open it with good old-fashioned Notepad, WordPad. Once that comes up, I can just make it bigger. I'm going to select everything except that first paragraph. Since it's already in my HTML document, I don't want to have the title in there twice. And so I've selected, I'm going to do Control-C to copy, minimize this file, go back into my text editor and highlight everything between those two P tags and paste it in, Control-V. And that will bring in all my information. What happens when I save it now, Control-S, and I bring it up again in a browser. Let's go back to where it was located. Open, browse, index. What you're going to notice is I just have one giant paragraph. I don't have any tags in there to say here's a paragraph or here's a line break, so we're going to have to go back and add that in. Minimize. As I look, I can see on line 12, I already have my P, my open paragraph tag, and because we inserted all that information, in between that, I also have my closed paragraph tag. I'm going to go back now and add the necessary open and close tags. So on line 14, I'm going to have a paragraph. On line 16, I'm going to have a paragraph open. On line 18, let's try that again. It's deleting that whole line. So let's try one more time. There we go. Control-Z is a great way to take one step back if you've accidentally typed over your words. So here's my another open P, line 22, open P, and then on line 24. Now that I've opened all these, I want to close them all. So at the end of 14, I'm going to go ahead and open up my tag, \P, and it automatically closes. And instead of retyping this over and over again, I'm going to highlight, Control-C to copy, go to the end of that paragraph, and paste it in. Find my next end of paragraph, paste it in, my next paragraph. You get the point. And then once I've got those in, I'm not going to put them here because these I actually want to have them single spaced. Now, earlier we used the line break. So after the end of line 24, it says an inquiry rates regarding rates to reservations to. This is where I'm going to put in my line break. So open, space, \. Again, do the same here. Open, BR space, \. And instead of retyping this over and over again, it might be a little faster to copy it, Control-C, and then paste it in. Control-V, Control-V. This one I'm not going to put in a Control-V because this close of paragraph will take care of that for me, but I am going to move that up onto the same line. Now when I save it, and I bring up my browser, and I refresh my browser, you can see how those paragraph opens and close make this nice breakup of the text. Good. Let's go ahead and minimize that. And if you haven't already, do a fast save by hitting Control and S. You have now successfully created an index page and updated it with customer content. That's it for Lesson 3 on how to create an HTML document.